Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well. In this video I'm going to talk about the current situation regarding Battlestate Games and of course Escape from Tarkov, and what the current situation in the Ukraine and all of the sanctions means for Escape from Tarkov as I see them today. And I say that as I see them today because it is a fluid situation and it is changing sort of every day. So what I say today might not count at all tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. I would like to say though, before I go in any deeper in this video, if you are offended by the fact that I am talking about the availability of a video game while there is a war going on, then you probably don't want to listen anymore to this video. I am well aware of what is going on in the Ukraine and I condemn it just like the next person does. I think it is abhorrent and it needs to stop. They just need to withdraw, but I'm not a political analyst. I can only speak on what I can see, and at the end of the day, and I know people aren't going to like this, but it is a fact of life, for the rest of us, life goes on. Yes, it's awful what is happening and I wish everybody gets out of there safe and that it all just stops now and that we can maybe sort of reverse what is going on. You know, it is awful, but for the rest of us, life does go on. We just watch from the outside and hope and pray that everybody is safe. So if me talking about a video game while there's a war going on offends you, you maybe want to turn this off right now. With that out of the way, I wanted to talk about what is happening with, there's a lot of rumours about the internet getting switched off in Russia and what this means for Battlestate Games, etc. And as I say, it's a fluid situation, it changes all of the time. There's a lot of misinformation out there and I am just going on what I am seeing online. So I would take it all with a huge pinch of salt, as I would what anybody is saying on this subject at the moment, because we are just going on what we're seeing and reading and we don't know the ins and outs, and as I say, things change daily. So one of the things that I wanted to clear up from the off was there's a lot of people out there that are tweeting that everything will be fine because Battlestate Games is in the UK. It isn't in the UK. Let's get this straight. The studio, all of the staff, barring one member of staff, is based in St. Petersburg. At the studio there. That's where the game was founded, that's where the studio is, that's where the game's developed, created, that's where the updates come from, that's where it all happens. They do, however, have a registered office here in the UK. Now, if you are to do sales in the UK, you have to pay tax. In order to pay tax, you have to have a registered address. So what happens is a lot of international companies will have a registered address at a office building, usually in London. This office building probably doesn't even have an actual office for these employees. It will just be an address where post and things like that can be sent for this company. And then when this person needs to do the taxes or needs to do some sort of official business for this company, they will go to the office and they will rent the space at the office for however long it takes for them to do what they need to do. So the game isn't developed here. Nothing with regards to the game and its development is done here. That's all done in Russia. They just have an office here in the UK for sales and tax purposes. Now, here in the UK, if you are a registered business, your business will be registered on a website called Companies House. This is freely open for people to go and search and have a look at. In fact, I will link down below the Companies House listing for Battlestate Games here in the UK. And you can go on there and you can see for yourself they have one registered employee, which is a female, Ludmilla. And I would assume that she is just on the books to do the books for them here in the UK. She will collate all of the tax things and pass that on to their accountants, who then file the accounts for them here in the UK. So these accounts are open and available. Obviously, you can't see what was done within the last tax year, which obviously here in the UK goes from the 31st of January to the 31st of January. So the last tax year, 2021 into 2022, isn't filed yet. It's probably in the process of being filed because all of the filings have to be in by the end of March here. But the previous year, 2020 into 2021, you can view that and you can see sort of the ingoings and outgoings of the company. Now, I don't know how intrinsic what is online is. I think it's just a basic overview of turnover for the company, what went in, what went out, etc. I don't think you get to see the ins and outs of everything, and you can't really see what the money was spent on. You just see what came in, profit, loss, what was deducted in tax, etc. So I just wanted to get that cleared up right now. It's not a UK based company, but they do have an office here for various reasons. So we're seeing a couple of articles that are floating around the internet at the moment in Russia, and people are taking this to mean that Russia wants to bring in-house every website and every sort sort of infrastructure that they have connected to the internet, and then they want to create a walled garden around, basically around the Russian internet. So they want it to be very, very sort of censored. They want to block sort of outgoing and incoming transmissions. You know, they just want it to create this walled garden, and they want it to be its sort of own internal internet. Now, there's been rumours of that for years, that they wanted to create their own version of the internet and move sort of most of the Russian internet over to it so that they could have complete control. What I'm getting at the moment from what I'm seeing is that this isn't the case. It's going to be the case with internal infrastructure. So you're looking at gas, electric, water, various parts of the internet being brought in-house into Russia so that they can protect those from outside attack. So they're saying at the moment that obviously there is a lot of cyber warfare going on right now. They're hacking other countries are hacking them, and they want to be able to better protect those systems. So there is a memo that has gone out saying that certain websites and certain institutions must move their systems over to Russian-based systems. How true that is and how genuine this document is, I really don't know. As I say, a lot of this is just assumptions and conjecture at the moment. We don't know the ins and outs, but it seems as though they want to protect critical infrastructure, which at a time like this is no bad thing. They want to protect certain things. Obviously, I'm not condoning what Russia's doing, but they want to protect themselves, and I can understand that. So will they be cut off? Will BSG be cut off from making payments for servers and from the money that comes in from sales for the game right now? Obviously, with the sanctions that are going on, I really don't know. Now, we know that certain parts of Russia have been cut off from the SWIFT banking system. Not all parts have, but some institutions have been. And basically what SWIFT is, it allows companies to process international payments quicker. They don't have to use the phone, they don't have to use fax or anything like that. So you can think of it as like what PayPal is for eBay. It's a very quick and easy way to pay somebody when you buy something. Now, as far as I know, they haven't been cut off from SWIFT entirely. I could be wrong, and they could have been cut off from SWIFT entirely, but let's run on the assumption that they have been cut off entirely. That will stop Battlestate Games being able to process international payments, but it won't stop it overall. It just means that they won't be able to process these payments as quick as they originally intended. They will have to go back to an old-fashioned way of doing it, but it could be that these old-fashioned ways have been cut off too. So as I say, we just don't know the ins and outs right now. I would assume that making international payments will still be possible for certain companies, but not all. So we will have to wait and see. Another thing is, they have liquid cash here in the UK. They will have cash in accounts here. Will they be able to release that cash to payment, to service payments? Will they be able to do that? I don't know. I would assume yes, they will be able to. What a lot of people are worrying about is, you know, how long is servers going to run without payment? Well, we don't know how they pay for their servers. Do they pay monthly? Do they pay yearly? Do they pay every 2 years? We really don't know how often they pay for them. So again, we're just assuming that it's just going to continue running, but it could stop at any point. Which, like I say, and I'm going to say it a lot in this video, we just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Then we've got the call-outs from BSG. A lot of people wanting them to come out and give their opinion on what's going on, wanting them to break their silence, because they have been silent for a number of days now. Well, in fact, since this all started, they've been very, very quiet. I follow Nikita on Instagram. He hasn't posted anything, I don't think, I've seen in the last week. They are actively retweeting, but they're not putting tweets out themselves on their official Twitter. And I can understand their silence. At the end of the day, if you go out on the streets and you protest in Russia with regards to the war, it's up to 8 years in prison. Now, here in the UK, we're hearing on the news that upwards of 12,000 people have been arrested. How many of those 12,000 people are actually going to do 8 years in prison? I don't know. And getting sort of facts and figures on that will be pretty hard. But I could comfortably assume that quite a few of them are going to end up doing that, because they don't fuck around with these things over there. And this will be why Battlestate's staying quiet. That isn't them condoning what is going on. I don't believe for a second that any of them will condone it, but they can't come out and publicly condone it, because then they've stuck their heads above the walls, and it could be very bad for them. So it is probably best that they just stay silent. I can assume that they are in work every day and working. They will be working on the latest updates for the game. They will be pushing forward with development, but they're not going to come out and start saying stuff about the war. It's just not advisable when you live in that country right now. It's very easy for us in other countries to be like, well, why are you saying something? Come out and say something, blah, blah, blah. But you've got to put it into context. Battlestate Games is probably one of the biggest studios in Russia, if not the biggest. I could be wrong, but looking from an outsider's point of view, I don't know any other game studios in Russia. Battlestate Games is the only one I know. And they make a very popular video game, it's got to be said. So if they were to come out and publicly condone what is going on, I could maybe see their offices being raided or them being shut down. You know, it can get very shady in Russia at times. So it's probably best that they stay quiet right now. And we just have to hope that they're all safe, they're all well, and that everything's going okay. And they are probably just like the rest of us, just looking at the situation day by day and looking to see what's happening, you know, and they're probably looking at ways of keeping the game up and running. They don't want the game to go down, they want to continue, but it's just a situation in Russia right now that you can't, you know, they have no control over. None of us do. We've all just got to sit back and wait and see what happens. Will the sanctions affect them? We don't know. They're not going to publicly come out and say anything of that nature right now, because that could be construed as supporting what the West is doing. So yeah, their silence is just the right thing in my opinion at the moment. And that's pretty much it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I am a political analyst. I don't understand fully what is going on. I just know that this whole situation is wrong and it needs resolving now. It needs to stop now. Will it? Probably not, but we just have to hope that everybody at BSG and everybody in Russia is safe. You know, I would assume that the vast majority of, you know, everyday Russians don't support this. They are well against it and they're feeling the pinch right now because of the sanctions that are happening. So, and I just want it all to stop. Nobody wants what's going on right now, but yeah, we all are brought together in videos like this and on, you know, forums because we love Escape from Tarkov, and I'm sure that we all wish BSG well and everybody else in Russia well, and of course everybody in the Ukraine well, and that there is a swift and, you know, speedy outcome to everything that is going on. As far as Escape from Tarkov goes, it is for now business as usual. I'm sure if anything does change, we may get some information from Battlestate Games if servers go down or sort of services interrupted. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.